these body symptoms are going to manifest themselves through anxiety. Fear, depression, and anxiety. Those three triggers are going to cause you to have irrational fear, uncontrollable fear, and sometimes fear so gripping and terrifying that you're convinced that you're about to die. Now, how are you going to be able to navigate the marketplace if that happens to you? If you feel that sense of impending doom and any time you're dropping dead. Like when I was feeling that, I was like, how embarrassing would it be if my wife finds me laying here dead? Like, that's embarrassing. And that caused more anxiety. Like, what the fuck? If I'm dead, I'm going to worry about it, right? But that's irrational thoughts. And when you get caught up in that state of panic, because the market's not doing what you want it to do, you're going to think irrationally. So you have to have a process that's written out, preferably at your trade desk, in front of you on the wall, laminated. If shit goes upside down, do this. My protocol is this. Take something off. Does it subside? If it doesn't, take more off. If it doesn't work, take it down to the smallest position size, which is what I did today. If that doesn't subside it, then you close the trade and have no regrets about it and be done. Who gives a shit if it goes up parabolic or drops, parabolic? Who cares? You have to be balanced. And that sounds crazy coming from me because I'm not chemically balanced. But listen, I know my shit, okay? I know what is going to be the barriers for you. And most of you that keep coming back to me, I know my shit because you have experienced it, and you're also experiencing now consistency, profitability. You can find the winning trades. You're making money now, okay? So I've won you over, and I'm increasing that level of understanding by telling you it's not a weakness for you to be able to pull the plug when it's time. Like, it's those trading environments, you should have no regrets about euthanizing that trade. Just completely take it out. Pull the plug on it. It's no longer in a position where it can affect you. Walk away from it. How many trades have you seen me execute on just this year? Daily. What if half of them were just me taking some of it off in partials and then pulling the plug and never got to the end result? Would that be losing? No, not at all. I wouldn't feel like that was a losing trader. No one should look at that as a failed mentor teacher, because it's still building the bottom line up. Finding setups, engaging them, and following the logic that would lead to proper trade management. But if you don't have these protocols in place and making room for a process that you don't panic, and you need to have it written out. Why written out? Because you're going to look around your room when you're in that moment of panic. You're going to reach for those things that make you feel comfortable. For me, it's a deck of cards. When I start fidgeting, I do shuffling, I fan them, I deal them. Like I deal 21 hands to myself and a hand in front of me, and I play 21. I distract myself when I'm feeling that. And if I can't focus on following through on the trade idea, then I have to start taking something off the trade. Here's little fidget spinners. I have a couple of them. As soon as you start spinning that thing, and you feel like you want to spin it faster than you ever spun it before, it's telling you something. That's a manifestation physically that you're trying to do what? You're trying to exert your will on something other than the market who's right now ignoring you. You want that market to bend to your will. It's not going to fucking bend to your will. So stop thinking that. You must bend to its will. And everybody on social media is trying to communicate that they don't ever have that problem. And that is horse shit. That's bullshit. That's why you do not see them consistently. That's why you see them hiding shit. Deleting their streams when they lose. Not updating their MyFX book. That shit is showing you that they're wrestling with things. They're wrestling with things just like you, just like me, because trading is mental chess with yourself. And it gets back to the question I asked on, I can't remember what the SoundCloud. Is it SoundCloud? No, I'm wondering if I even said that right. I did these like, are you deserving? That whole presentation I gave about that. Are you in a position where you feel like you deserve to be successful? Because much like an abusive relationship does to the abused, they feel like they don't deserve anything but the abuse after having been abused over and over again. You feel like, oh, this is the way it is. And you freeze up. And you just want that shiny white knight to come in there, and some magical good fairy of good luck comes in there and sprinkles the good dust of good luck on your outcome, and you weather it and you get out by the skin of your teeth. That's not going to happen in trading. There's no Santa Claus. Okay? There's no forex Jesus isn't coming in there. God's not up there listening to you praying, please get me out of this trade. The fact that he's given you the physical manifestations, that's him telling you, get out of the trade. I mean, but, I'll believe God exists when he shows up. Well, he's showing up in physical manifestations. He's speaking to you through your conscience. Close the trade. Get out of the trade. You're in something that's toxic and you're trying to hold on to it. But I love him. He beats me, but I love him. He's cheated on me, but I love him. Get out of that toxic relationship. That trade is a toxic relationship. It's a go nowhere, dead end relationship. You're going to get nothing from that relationship. It's just going to suck more blood from you. And it's going to make you feel drained. And you're not going to be able to be energetic to take the next good trade that forms, because you are now further abused and damaged. You're damaged goods now. So tomorrow when the market sets up a beautiful setup, because you wrestled, which you felt like this is the right thing to do. I'm doing the right thing. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm going to go out with everything. And I'm fighting hard for this trade to work out because I need to feel like I'm going to be accomplished and successful. And you're doing everything wrong. The best money managers in the world are the one that says, fuck it, this isn't good, I'm closing it. And that's it. There's no more, they're not regretting it. They're not thinking about it. Running scenarios. What if they're done. Next. What's the next one? Next. You have to treat your bad trades or questionable trades that you're in, as soon as they start manifesting physically in you, you have to have a process. It has to be written. It must be visible where you are trading. Another reason why you don't trade on your phone. I'm riding the bus home. Just got me 50 pips. Forex King. Whoop, whoop. Holla. No, you are literally gambling. You're gambling. Because here's what's going to happen one day when you're doing this. Ask me how I know. You're going to be out in the public. You're going to be minding your own business. Your wife's going to be predisposed and distracted with Victoria's Secret's bra sale. You're just minding your own business, walking around. You're not trying to be creepy. You don't care about the panties and the things all around you. You're in your phone, minding your business on MT4. No problem. No harm, no foul. You're going to put the trade on. You're going to be managing it. Okay. Then shit's going to go upside down. And you're going to be looking around and you're going to be pacing back and forth. And now everyone around you is going to be looking at you thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? You're not trying to be next to your wife because you don't want her to see that you're on that MT4 again. You're walking around, you're breathing a little bit heavy, you're pacing back and forth. You're getting ready to steal something, aren't you? You're getting ready to take those friggin' panties and stick them in your coat pocket and run out the store, aren't you? That's what everybody's going to be thinking you're going to do. And now you're going to be thinking about that or something to that effect, like I was. And I can't even focus on the trade I'm in. I can't do it. So that's just going to creep in. Something like that. You didn't even expect nothing like that. But the real world and shit that comes out of left field is going to pop into your trading. And you're not going to have what? The process, the protocol that you follow in front of you because you're holding your phone. Or you might get lack of service. Internet. You're in an area where you can't get connection. You don't think it's going to happen? It's happened. It's happened to me a lot. I don't trade on my phone. Unless I'm in the bed and I'm hooked up to my Wi-Fi here. I'll do an example like that where it's something simple, short, little type thing, nothing big. Just to get your attention to focus on something other than what you're worrying about. But you have to have it written down. How are you going to process and work through a protocol that's written out? How are you going to be able to weather, compensate, cope, or euthanize that toxic trade? I told you what mine is. If it doesn't start panning out in a time frame in my mind, once I feel those physical symptoms, I'm disgusted by the fact that this market's not moving to the will of ICT. How dare this son of a bitch sit around here in Hammond Hall and not move to my target? I'm recording this. It should be doing what I wanted to do. That's what's going on in my head today. I'm watching it. That's what's in my head. So as soon as I feel that, I say, okay, time to put a time limit on it. 2 minutes. This candle or the next, it needs to start showing it to me. It doesn't. Okay, start peeling it off. I got 5 contracts, 1 off. Do I feel any better about it? Nope. All the way down to the smallest one. Now I don't care. I don't care what the outcome's going to be because I've taken as much as I can take off that trade. Because if it's not going to go higher and drops from where I got out on my partials and leave 1 contract remaining, who's going to argue and say that was the bad decision to do? Because I got out at the best case scenario I could have with the 4 contracts that I peeled off that weren't going any higher. And if I would have held on to them, it would have been a full stop out on 5 contracts. That's a winning trade. But it didn't go to your 39.45 level, ICT. You were wrong. I have $9,187 of evidence in that demo account. That if I did those things any other way, that wouldn't be the case. That wouldn't be the result of it. So you can argue about all the things that don't matter and never grow and improve your mindset about how you're going to endeavor and work yourself through these moments that every trader is going to have for the rest of their career. You're going to have these moments where your trade isn't panning out. And you're going to have to wrestle with it. This is the reason why I tell you, don't make the public your partner in trading. Social media is not your partner in your trading business. That's why these same people are floundering and failing, and they're bent out of shape because they feel it and they can't get out of the situation. Because if they stop doing what they're doing, they know what the public's going to say. Oh, look at you. You stop putting your MyFX book up there. Sam, listen to me. Okay. All the bullshit aside, I would whoop your ass in that competition. Any competition. I would beat your shit silly. Here's my best advice to you. Stop making your MyFX book public. Just do it for the rest of the year. And then at the end of the year, show it. I promise you, you will do better. You'll do better. The guy Corbs I like, I keep promoting him all the time. I think he's a wonderful personality for this industry. He doesn't get out there and brag. He doesn't pretend to be something he's not. I think he's a pretty likable guy. And he tried doing live sessions and trading live. And I physically felt uncomfortable for him. When I was talking earlier, when I was talking about the trader that's throwing his glasses across the room and pitching shit around, he's who I was thinking of. And I know in his mind, he was thinking, fuck, why am I on this fucking live stream doing this in front of everybody? And I told him, I don't think what you're doing is the most efficient way of doing what it is you're trying to be as a trader. I have no problems with someone trading, recording something, or not even recording it and saying, here's the trade I did, and here's the proof of it, either with a broker statement or something to the effect of showing their entire trade history. I don't need to do that. I can fucking trade and record it. And then I'll show you everything afterwards too. But I'm also going to tell you why I'm going to do it before I'm doing the trade. So I'm doing well beyond my FX book. But Corbs, he literally was out there going through it, wrestling with it. Who? What? What was he contending with? Himself. I guarantee you, he was thinking to himself, oh man, if I stop doing this, they're going to think I'm not a good trader. And that's why I told him publicly in those live streams, I said, in my opinion, it's not shameful for you to not do this. If you do a trade, show your executions later on and the logic as to why you did it. Real traders will recognize that. Anybody else that wants to talk about it and talk all kinds of bullshit, fuck them in their opinion. They're nobodies. They're going to work on Monday. They're going to be hoping they get a week's vacation. Their opinions don't mean shit. And then when he stopped, his results improved again. Why? Because the pressure's off. Like, I felt that. I felt that when I was with my first mentorship group. I had 836 people. And they're all coming at me saying, answer this and answer that and look at this and look at that. And you know how I am. I like to overdo it. Like, I'm trying to make sure I pour everything I got in me into you. And I'm feeling guilty because there's no way I can humanly respond to all of them. And then also on top of it, focus on the marketplace in front of me. It was, honestly, I thought I was going to be able to do it. I really thought I was going to be able to do that. And I was like, what the fuck? I can't focus on anything. Like, I literally felt like I had 1,000 voices screaming in my ear. I couldn't hear any of them. It was only them just zipping by like a chat window when I was doing, the hell was that program? GoToWebinar. Yeah, GoToWebinar. 800 people. Now, obviously, not all 800 was sending me messages at the same time, but a lot of them were. And they would repeat and say, look, you're not answering my question. And I'm like, fuck. I wanted to be anywhere else but that place at that time. Because I couldn't get out of it. I was in that very thing that it feels like when you're in a trade and you can't do what you know you should do. You can't just kill it. So you need to have a process of making sure that you guard your mind, because this is hard shit. Because you are trying to ignore the inevitable temporary failures that this business is going to present to you and everybody in it. You're going to lose. You're going to lose money. You're going to get stopped out. You're going to take a trade and it never gets to any profitability. It's going to just rip right into your stop. You're going to press buy when you really wanted to go in and go short. That's a stupid error, but you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to go into a trade and forget the calendar has something getting ready to come on. Hope it ain't CPI. And as soon as you get in and you realize you did it wrong, get the fuck out. Just don't even worry about arguing about it. Just get out. You have to have a process. And the process is, first rule of this industry, preserve capital. When in doubt, get the fuck out. You cannot fuck around and stay in this market in a position that you don't even understand why you're in, while you're holding on to something that you know is highly unlikely to pan out profitable and more likely to go to your stop. You're convinced of it because that's all you could see happening. You're worrying about that tick that's next to come after the next adjustment in the market price. And you're watching it go closer and closer to your stop.